Testing 1, 2. Sound all right? Just waiting for the thumbs up that we're live. We'll get started. We're live. All right. We're live. We're alive and we are live. All right. This is a Meet the Manager meeting. As usual, I'll give some updates and we'll jump into questions. So, sales last year through August, we had sold 68 memberships. As of August 8th, we've sold 251 memberships. And that is 183 more sales year to date. Yeah. Of the 251 sold, 210 have been sold using coupons and 41 have been regular sales. So total memberships in the vault is 917. June profit and loss has been posted. Revenues holding steady compared to last year. Cost of sales has seen a savings of $20,000. Expenses have seen a savings of $160,000 year to date. And total comprehensive activity is positive $220,000, which is $100,000 better than last year. Pause for applause. Woo! Last year in June, we had $950,000 total cash and cash investments. And total cash and cash investments in June 2025 are currently sitting at $1.5 million. And then July financials should be released by the 20th of the month. And that's the schedule we're going to try to stay on. So that's our goal, to get those previous month's financials released by the 20th of every month. Capital Improvement Fund, we've raised $73,831. And just a reminder, our goal is $127,672. So not quite there yet. If you haven't made a donation and you want to, feel free to reach out to the front desk or do it online. Or send a check-in. Election. So we have 3 board slots to fill in the coming election. If you're interested in running for one of those positions, please see me for a board packet. I actually have one with me. Just a reminder that board packets need to be returned with no less than 25 signatures on the petition by 5 p.m. August 21st. The election committee will then verify signatures for each candidate, and a ballot will be created that includes all verified and eligible candidates. Please ensure your address is up to date so that when we send those ballots out, you'll receive them. Ballots will be mailed in the first part of September, and all ballots need to be returned to the address included on the ballot or dropped in the secure ballot box that will be located at the Welcome Center. So that's a change from, I told you guys last week that we were mulling around and trying to figure out how we could accomplish, and the election committee has a plan for dropping ballots here. Ballots will be then collected for the U.S. Postal Service and from our box and be counted. I want to thank everybody that's on the election committee as well. It's been a lot of work putting those policies and procedures together. And then, of course, when it comes to count the votes, they'll be the ones counting the vote as well. So thank you for that, both what you've done and what you're going to be doing. It's going to be a heavy lift. Dues were due June 1st. And just a reminder, dues can be paid by mail, online, in person, or over the phone. And then just a save the date reminder, our 2025 annual meeting will be October 25th. And more details on that coming soon. I have gotten a couple emails about itineraries, and that's something that we're working on and not something we've released yet, but as soon as they become available, we will shoot them out to everybody. Storage audit will be happening the 12th through the 14th of this month. And campground software. So we've met with 3 software companies to demo new campground softwares for the anticipated switch in January. Our focus in this switch will be expediting check-ins, consolidating standalone systems, and improving the owner and guest experience. So I talked about the systems a little bit last week. Many of our staff have been in those demos and are very excited about some of the products that we're looking at, and we'll be bringing those to the board actually this upcoming board meeting for their review and kind of a Q&A with the front runners. So. Pond. Additional work will be completed to the landscape around the pond, including gazebo and fire pits. And of course, fish stocking will happen as well. We anticipate this to be completed in the fall. So we had an electrical outage in phase 3 and 4, right on the tail end of our water issues. So that was a fun time. There was a wire underground in a conduit that was damaged, just by where there was a hole in the conduit and rocks had gotten in there. We weren't actively digging in that area, but it caused a fault. Our electric company came out, was able to find that fault, make the repair, and while they were out, they also repaired a transformer that was on the ground that had been leaking oil. Hadn't caused a problem yet, but definitely would have down the line. So, and then of course the boil advisory for 3 and 4 was lifted. And then outdoor pool closure, closed September 1st. Night glow swim on Saturday, August 30th, and the much anticipated dog swim on Monday, September 1st in the afternoon. So that'll be the last time the pool is open, the outdoor pool, for the year. And then our next board meeting is scheduled for August 16th at 3 p.m. And just a reminder, we will not be having the Meet the Manager meeting on that day. And those are my updates. So we will open it up to questions. Just a reminder, I will come to you with the mic so that everybody online can also hear you. Yes, sir.
I'm not bashful. First, I want to thank you for coming out every Saturday and doing a meeting here, because that takes time out of your life too. So
I appreciate that.
Thank that. A couple of questions, or a couple of things. And again, I've been a member since '07. I'm always in favor of whatever kind of improvements in electrical and site improvement. That's always my number one things. But one was, it's not a problem all the time, but sometimes it becomes a problem, especially on really busy days. And it is a money thing too to take to fix it. But up here at the gate, it would seem like it would be so much better if we could put in another road beside the other one. But there's that building there, and I'm not sure what that little building is beside the gate. For a gate that has, where you got to pass, you go on through, but those are the people, and I understand, that have to check in and things like that. Like I said, a lot of times it's not a big issue, but sometimes it's backed up clear to the antique store. So I seen that yesterday. I was really surprised. But again, another lane forward check just with using your car that you already got, and it would, I think, would make things better. But again, it costs money. And then the last thing, and I know as you as a manager, when you was hired on, you probably never thought that people were going to come and talk about dog crap every time to you, but it's God's honest truth. And I'm not a dog owner right now, but I've had it pointed out to me by some friends that were camping. They were in phase 2 over on the south side along that long grass strip there. Mm-hmm. And they said it was just like landmines everywhere. They said it was just absolutely terrible. And again, I know as you as a manager, there's not a whole lot you can do about it, but my gosh, people, all you got to do is take a sack. Now again, there's no place there for a sack. There's a place for trash there, waste, but there's not a dispenser for sacks. But if you're taking your dog out on a walk and you don't realize that you might need to pick up some crap and take a sack with you, then you probably shouldn't have the dog. But again, that's just a couple of things, and I would really like to see, again, site improvement and electrical improvements. That's probably my number one thing.
That was a lot. I don't want to miss anything. So I agree with you. Be responsible pet owners. Make sure you're picking up after your dog. Yeah. I'll take a look at that, and if it's yeah, don't step on a landmine. As far as the other gate, that's something that's brought up a lot, both by owners and staff on security. It's something we're looking into. Don't have an answer yet, but it would be amazing if we had double lanes on both sides.
Especially coming in.
Yeah, get that kind of fast pass lane where if you got your car and you don't need to check in, it's quick. So we also do checkouts, so sometimes the exit lane can also get clogged up. So that's been a topic of discussion. As far as improvements, we want to continue improving both the sites and the infrastructure. We're well aware that, this electrical issue, case in point.
One thing that's odd over in 4, and like I said, I've been a member a long time. We've got sites over there that's really not even usable. You know what I mean? I mean, you could use them, but they got 50 amp breakers on them. And I'm like, who ever decided that back 40 years ago? But anyhow.
Yeah. I still have the new guy card on that one because I've only been here for a year, so I mean, it wasn't me. But, no, I agree. We would love to see it not be an issue if you need a 50 amp. That's going to take some time, but that's certainly something long-term planning committee has discussed. At every meeting, we talk about sites, and we'd love to improve the sites. And then what does it take to improve the electrical on a site? Because we can't just put a new pedestal there. Yeah, it gets into some groundwork that needs to be done. And so, but it's something that we're actively working on. Discussions are taking place constantly about it. So, yeah, appreciate that. Yes, sir.
We've been here since 2019, and where you're going to take shower, restroom. Those this year haven't been cleaned as well. I don't know whether it's due to lack of being able to hire people or what's taking place. Can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, absolutely. There were some comments on Facebook. Love Facebook. We've definitely struggled the past few months to keep bathhouses up to standard. So I met with, we've got an interim housekeeping manager right now. We lost our housekeeping manager, and staff is, we had planned this year to change things up, and this is something as a leader I have to take responsibility for. So we cut the amount of staff, paid staff we were going to have in housekeeping, and we're going to use work campers, and we've not seen the work camper return this year that we have seen in previous years. So there's kind of open positions there. Now we've also supplemented that with a kind of on-demand work service that we hire out for extremely busy days to keep up with rooms, and unfortunately sometimes those bathhouses have been lower priority. I met with the housekeeping yesterday after an owner complaint. We went down and looked at it, and we found one of the things that was happening was we would say, okay, light touch on the bathrooms because we've got 40 rooms that have to be done and we're on a time schedule for that. Well, light touch wasn't as in-depth as it needed to be. So we discussed what light touch meant. That includes washing the toilet bowls out, picking up any trash. It's not just is the trash taken out and is there toilet paper. We need to make sure that if something is nasty, it needs to be cleaned up. So I anticipate that'll improve. I talked to the housekeeping manager this morning, and they are deep cleaning them first thing this morning. So continue to provide feedback to me on that. If you see something, say something. I had an owner, like I said, call me just the other day. Wasn't able to get her call immediately, but I called her back within the hour, and we were down there fixing it. So the more I know, the better. So, yes, sir.
The owners could help housekeeping a lot by not leaving it trashed when they go in to take a shower or whatever. And housekeeping go in and clean it, leave 5 minutes later, someone goes in, they leave, next person goes in. This thing is horrible. So what do? Owners like picking up the pet crap, not only dog, but cat. The owners can help. They can be a big help if they would just do it.
Yeah, it's always helpful if there's a mess and you're able to clean it up, you clean it up. Some people have brought up, hey, if you left cleaning supplies in there, we could clean. I hesitate to do that because children may go into the bathhouses. I don't leave those chemicals out there in the open. But yeah, we should be working together as a team, owners and staff. And even if you can't fix it, at least report it to somebody so that we know. There are times when, and I've seen it happen with my own eyes, where a bathroom gets cleaned and then 10 minutes later, it does not look clean. A lot of the issues that we're having right now is not due to that. It's not because one person came in and our bandit struck again. It wasn't something like that. There were issues that we should have resolved. So, yes, ma'am.
Should there even be a light clean in bathhouses that hundreds of people use? Should that even be a definition?
It's not even getting a light clean lately.
Well, and that's what I just discussed. I said that, light clean doesn't mean go take the trash out and refill the toilet paper. It means actually clean, right? And yes, there has to be times right now where there is a light clean. In a perfect world, no, I agree with you. I think those bathhouses should be cleaned regularly on a schedule and deep cleaned, and then sprayed out every morning with a power washer. We just don't have that ability right now. So something that we're in talks with the staff of trying to, again, hire somebody that's specifically just bathhouses. So, yes, ma'am.
Until we have that in-house, can it be contracted out? Because I too feel like the bathhouse is a basic need, and the cleanliness. And I get it that owners need to pick up after themselves. I see that most owners do that. Most owners go in there and leave that bathhouse better than they found it. But the mold in the corners right now, the mold and mildew on the shower curtains, we've lost the checkoff sheet that used to hang behind the door that told the last time somebody was in there, so that I could easily look and say, oh, somebody hasn't been in here. They cleaned this at 12 hours ago. I get why it's a mess.
Yeah.
But we're just really lacking on some basic human cleanliness needs in those bathhouses. And you hear it all over the park. And I don't know those people over there, and I've not talked to them, but they're voicing the same thing that I hear in my own circle that I'm with. And all the money that we're saving with housekeeping and maintenance and showing the profit, I get it, we all clap for that, but at the same time, it's time to put something back in so that we don't lose what we already have.
I appreciate that. And like I said, we're doing our best to make a good decision moving forward. I think having somebody on staff would be the key, and I'm hoping that now that we've looked at those bathhouses a little more closely, it's going to be looking better moving forward.
How close are we to catching the poop bandit?
We are no further in our investigation to catch the poop bandit.
That ought to be a cartoon.
He said that ought to be a cartoon. Yes, ma'am.
I also have an issue with the dogs, and it's in the morning, and when they wake you up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and at 6 o'clock, and the owners haven't, the dogs are outside, but the owners aren't with them. So in the past, we have had pets, but if you're going to have one, then take care of it, or don't expect the rest of us to suffer.
I don't think I have anything to add to that. So. No, you're fine.
I sent an email and haven't got an answer yet, but the ballot, is there a way to pick up a ballot? Because we're going to be on the road, not at our home address to get it.
So that's something the election committee discussed in detail. We looked at whether or not we would be able to provide ballots on site, and the election committee decided that they were not going to offer ballots in-house. So the best thing to do would be forward your mail or have somebody pick it up and mail it here.
So do we have it mailed here? When I say here, it's not already placed.
Yes, when I say here, I mean Branson. So it doesn't, and that's something we discussed, and it was heavily debated in that committee, and it's always been done that way. So they decided not to change it this year, and with the long-term hope that the election process could change, possibly. The election committee would like to see us move toward an electronic election, which would solve that problem as well. But understand the frustration on that, but that was the decision moving forward. So, has there been anything done in the past for that? Because I was told that there wasn't. Is that accurate, or? So if you weren't going to be at your house, you just had somebody mail it to you or forward it. Yes, no. You didn't vote last year. Gotcha. Yeah, that's one of the things that we discussed, and it was decided that if you had it forwarded, you could fill it out and just drop it instead of mailing it from Branson into Branson, but you won't be able to pick up ballots at the Welcome Center.
I think their problem is they're not in one spot. Like when they've talked about their travels, they go here for 2 or 3 days, back on the road, here 2 or 3 days, back on the road, and here a week.
Yeah.
forwarding
Gotcha.
address that they'll be at long enough to get it. And then the mail, you know, it may take 3 days, it may take 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, not take 3 months. When somebody's working, so
Did you want to add anything to that, since you're on the election committee? I'm going to put you in the hot seat.
You know, mail is not like it used to be. There's no 3-day or 2-day delivery. We mailed some stuff home, birthday card last week, and it took over a week for it to get from here to Texas. And I know instances where it's taken 3 weeks for mail to get through. So I don't know if we could do a will call thing. Is there any way we could hold ballots and have a will call, like a will call, people come and pick it up here? If they don't pick it up, it's their fault. If they sign something that said, hold my ballot, you know, can
Yeah.
we do something like that? You reckon?
I mean, anything is possible. But when the election committee met, we talked about being able to print ballots off that were nondescript, that somebody filled in their owner information. We talked about holding, and the election committee decided to continue what we've always done and not change it. So,
How's that working for how many votes you're getting in from the members, the membership at the park?
say it one more
How's
time.
that
everyone.
working? How is that working as far as the voting for the memberships, most of the members that are in the park? What percentage of people actually vote? And what percentage of members actually would vote if they had better choices because they're traveling?
I agree with you 100%. It's a lose-lose situation for that. We don't get a lot of return votes when we look at how many we send out.
Maybe something needs to change.
Absolutely.
How many dues do you get back? Like can the voting be mailed out with the annual dues invoice in the future?
That would be tough just based on timing that's outlined in the bylaws. In my mind, and this is just my position as the general manager, and electronic voting solves all these problems. So
Is that something we can vote on, or are they working on for it?
there was a vote held for that. It got 2/3 of voting members, but not 2/3 of all voting members. Does that make sense? 2/3 of people that voted for it. We had a lot of people not vote.
That's kind of like raising the dues.
Dues were on there as well.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make a quick plug for using a UPS box. I don't know if anybody uses that here, but if you're a traveler, UPS boxes, you pay kind of either a semi-annual fee, an annual fee, gets cheaper the longer you get one. Okay. And they will hold it for you at your UPS box and then freely ship it to another location for you. It's super fast. You can get it in a day or two. And so I recommend that. So they'll hold it at a location and then you say, I'm in Branson, please send it to the Branson location, and they'll do that for you. And they've never charged us anything.
All that to say, I know it's absolutely challenging and it sounds silly. So,
When we were traveling a lot, we used a mail forwarding service based out of Florida. And in my opinion, if you're going to be on the road the biggest part of the time and you're not using a forwarding service of some kind, then that's on you.
I can neither agree or disagree. $10.24.
It's still in the general theme of being clean. Okay, so just because I ride around a lot and look around, maybe if we have time, somebody on the staff could go cut down some things that are turning into trees that are growing up through the lattice work in the yurt area. I hate that we paid a lot of money for yurts and there's tree-like things growing up through the lattice right now.
That's aesthetics. We planted those? I'm just kidding. No. I'll have, I'm just joking. Can you take a note of that? We'll have maintenance go down and cut those down. Thank you for the feedback.
Sounds like there's enough projects that people are mentioning that maybe we can do another fall work volunteer day. And these are some different tasks that have not been on the volunteer days before.
Yeah.
So somebody bringing a power washer and going and doing the shower is really, really good for fall, and lattice work and some of the greenery growing up in the playgrounds and things like that. Let's take care of it that way.
I think it's a great suggestion. We'll have dates on that coming up soon.
One other thing I noticed, and I think we've talked about it at a manager meeting before, but I've noticed this time more than any, so many trees dying. And I've noticed a lot of oak trees dying, and they're pretty healthy. But I've seen one, a big oak tree that was on the main road over here, that was leaved out completely brown. I mean, it was basically dead. Have we ever had an arborist come in and find out? The small trees are, like I said, not a real big thing, but those big ones.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot.
Can't replace them.
Big trees that I've seen now that need to come out, and why are they dying? Especially those oak trees.
Do you have something for that, or okay?
Yeah, there's an insect coming out of Arkansas that's targeting oak trees. I think it's killing a bunch of them.
There you go.
Something we can look into more though. Is there something we can do? I know the ash beetle is an issue, and that's the reason that we can't take our wood off site.
Ash trees are gone as far as Missouri.
Yeah.
Those oak trees, we got a lot of oak trees on this property.
Yeah. Okay. We'll jot that down as something to look into this fall as well. Maybe conservation can come out and do a survey for us. And
There's some oak trees that are probably 100 years old.
yeah, and I mean, if you
And
lose
they're
that, they're
dead.
gone. Yeah, they're gone, and we're not going to see them again in our
Has to be a
lifetime.
lot.
Yeah. Okay. We'll look into that.
So I know that they have a comment box for all of the cabins. When you check into a site, whatever camping site you have, maybe we would have those cards to pass out so they can tell you how that site was.
Yeah, and I would encourage anybody that has any feedback on their site to use that QR code, and in the feedback section, if there's additional comments, and please use that. I think that's the most streamlined way to get all the feedback into one location. So, and it's already digital, so nobody has to then make it digital. So. Yeah.
Question from online. Someone wants to know about sites that are closed in phase 2. There are a string of sites that are closed.
Yeah, they're doing some repairs to the water line in that area, and they've been delayed because we put the closure signs on them and people park there anyway. So just a reminder, if there is a closure sign on it, there's a reason for it. Please don't park there. Yes, sir.
On the site that we're on and the several beside us, there's a pink deal on the water line, like the water nozzle's closed. We went ahead and used it. Is there some reason that there's a lot of them that are marked that way?
I have to get to maintenance I have to talk to Ryan about that. I know they've marked them for different reasons in the past. They've been winterized, but I know we were also marking some after 4th of July. They went around and were keeping track of the ones that were obviously leaking.
Are we supposed to use it now?
I'll have to get back to you on that. I'm not sure if it's because they've been winterized or if it's because they're marked for repair. But next week. Tune in next week.
Okay. Well, you ain't gonna be here next week.
Yeah, at the board meeting. Let's see. Board meeting. I'll try to give an update at the board meeting about that. I didn't bring any jokes this time, so. Somebody said thank you.
When is the next planning committee meeting?
Well, I don't have that date with me. I believe it's next month. Are you talking about the main team? The sub teams are meeting every month, and then the main team meets. Their last meeting was last month, and I don't think they've had a meeting planned for this month. So, yeah.
I do want to make a good plug with all the TVs and information stuff that we have down in the pool area. You can see it here in the clubhouse. It really is helpful to know what interactions are going on in the park and how many phases are full.
Thank you for that. They're also on the bathhouses too. Yeah. Yes, sir.
This is more of an announcement, and again, this is going to be our last meeting for a while, so while I'm doing this. The Winter Texans, we do have a meeting or a reunion the first Wednesday in February at Mr. Getty's Pizza in McAllen. We would love to have you all join us. We just get together and visit the treasure. And keep an eye out in the Winter Texan. That's a newspaper down there. If you go, you know what it is. But we'd love to have you come join us. Again, it'll be the first Wednesday in February at Mr. Getty's. It's on 2nd and Nolana. So come and join us. We just visit.
All right. Any other questions? Yes.
How many people are becoming to the board? I mean, how many people are wanting to sign up to be on the board?
Are you asking how many petitions?
How many picked up rates?
Gotcha. So this is not an indication of how many people will actually be running, but I believe it's 11 people have picked up packets so far. For three positions to be filled. So, yep. Now I don't know how many are going to be returned. So, I've already been told by some people that have picked up a packet, hey, I'm not going to continue. So, yes, ma'am. Hang on, I got to get to you because online can't hear you.
Is there a time set up where you can meet those candidates so you know what they're about?
Yeah, so we'll be announcing soon the date that we're going to have the what did we call it last year? Candidate forum. That's what we called it last year. Yeah, so there'll be a time when the candidates will get up on here. We'll have questions. Last year we took questions that people had submitted through a forum online, and I looked for comments that were made or questions that were asked multiple times, and then I came up with 20 questions based on those questions that were submitted, and then we asked that. It was also streamed, so if you weren't on Park, you could also see it. So that is still planned for this year. Might be a little bit longer if we have that many candidates, but. All right. Well, I want you guys to know that I do hear you about the bathhouses. Please know that it's top of mind for me. I've had 4 meetings about it in the past day and a half. So yesterday and today. So know that it's a concern. let me know if you see something wrong with one, and I will go down there and see it for myself, and we will get it fixed. So, and a long-term solution coming soon. So, appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the park, and thank you.